Pastor Lucille, need you to come up here real quick. I'm not gonna lie, I was gonna spare you for real. After I dropped that video exposing Tiff from the Shy yesterday, which by the way, if you haven't seen it, y'all go ahead and check that out. I gotta admit, like, she been bugging this season, let's be honest. But shout out to my brother Sean, he really wanted me to put this video out on you specifically. So unfortunately for you, I gotta be a man of the people and show where you've been tripping this season. If we being honest, we gotta take it back to last season too, I'm not gonna lie. So before we get to talking about season 4, we first have to talk about what happened between you and your husband Charles last season. Really, that issue goes back to season 2, but we're talking about you in season 3. Obviously, if you watch BMF, you already know my boy Raw Dog Charles, his name is not for no reason. Thankfully, he ain't knocked nobody that wasn't Lucille up while doing his little antics out in the street, but he wasn't thorough and he got caught in what he was doing. So obviously, for the remainder of season 2 and going into season 3, Lucille and Charles are not on good terms, and that's completely understandable because Charles, what are you doing out here? You out here getting tempted? Were you a whole married man? Come on, you got black men looking crazy. So yeah, like I said, it was a rough patch that Lucille and Charles were going through last season. Lucille was exploring other people. They were still living under the same roof. Obviously, they still had Nicole that they had to see go to college. And Charles was still very devoted to trying to get Lucille back, so he wasn't trying to leave the house. I'm telling y'all, my boy was doing everything in his power to get Lucille back. I know if you watch the show, you remember the episode where my boy Charles pulled up at that guitar and Real Deal started serenading Shorty. You can't tell me you didn't have the biggest smile on your face when you seen that scene of Charles singing to Lucille, bro. You didn't see it coming. I ain't even gonna lie, the Flenory family should be eating good just off that song alone. That shit should have went triple platinum in the D. Whole time it's Charles who really needed to be the one headlining tour singing like that. Now this post is unrelated, but the picture is just funny as hell. I mean, look at Charles in this picture, bro. Look who in the reflection of them shades, his biggest headache. As we all know though, these serenades didn't really do much for the relationship. They claim that they'll at least still be friends as we continue on with the BMF series towards the end of season 3. So they should be on good terms going into season 4. Charles got the tour going. He could be bringing some money into the house. Everything should be Gucci. On top of that, Lucille will get her space, right? She don't want Charles in the crib for her. So all's well that ends well at the end of the day, except not really. Start off season 4 with Charles coming back from his tour to see his daughter graduate. We see Lucille is also a pastor at this point in time in the series. So the family should be up at the moment. About to go to college and Charles soon go back on tour, so everything is good until it's not, like I said, because Charles is actually not going back on tour. Somebody in their crew came down with some sickness, so they couldn't go back out for whatever reason or whatever. As soon as this man Charles gets off the phone after hearing that devastating news, Lucille in his ear talking about some, well, how you gonna come up with the child support money now? First of all, Lucille, Nicole's graduated. I'm pretty sure she's over 18 now, and Terry and Meech are well over 18 as well at this point. So you asking Charles for child support money at this point in the game is mad crazy. But moving on. As bad as Charles and Lucille's relationship is in this season, you could argue her relationship with her daughter is even worse. Now, this hasn't just started in this season. Nicole and Lucille have constantly had issues throughout the series. For some reason, she can't put herself in Nicole's shoes. But with Nicole's storyline, like I said, she graduated. She's on her way to Morris Brown. It's about to be a good time. She's with her boyfriend, Breeze. You know, they getting into shit before they go off to different schools. And that's when this cop ends up investigating their car that Meech gave Nicole upon her graduating and finding out it's a stolen car. So at this point, Nicole gets arrested. Then she gets out. And Lucille immediately starts going in on Nicole, talking about some, you got caught by the cops while you were having sex. Look at the shame you've brought upon this family. And then Nicole quickly put her in her place, talking about some, when you were my age, were you on child number 1 or number 2? I was like, oh, nah. I say, you talking real big. You still living under her house. She can still put a belt to ass, literally. But I do feel like in that moment, Lucille was doing the most. I understand you upset at her being arrested, but that's all on Meech for real, if we being honest. Nothing Nicole did was illegal in any type of way. And if anything, she's following your footsteps. We also see as recently as the last episode when Lucille finds out that Nicole's pregnant. Granted, Nicole should have definitely told her parents that well before they just found out. She was trying to explain it to Breeze. She hadn't seen him or whatever. You know, they don't got FaceTime back in the day, bro. They got to do this kind of shit face to face. He comes to her and asks her, who is the father of this baby? Is it Breeze? Is it Worm? Is it Germ? Is it Sherm? Who's the baby father? I'm like, damn, you really think she getting around like that for real? Now, to be fair, she was messing with Worm and Breeze at the same time. That shit was kind of nasty. But Lucille, you a whole hypocrite though. Because if I'm not mistaken, you was messing around with some dude while you was still legally married to Charles. So like, how you go come at Nicole in this way when she's just a young girl growing up? Now granted, she is pregnant and that's a lot that Lucille got to deal with now because she just got denied welfare and Charles cannot work due to his broken hand. She continues to give him hell for as if it's his fault that he broke his hand. She goes in on Charles, calling his tour stupid, how you relying on this to make money, and how you're not providing. You just here to be here, and you honestly would be better off just not being in this house. I'm like, bro, I understand it's a bad situation right now when it comes to the bread. But you telling him off like this, what is that doing for anybody? You saying this as if Charles, when he's healthy, is not out there working, trying to provide for his family. He's been doing that since season 1. Now he's hurt and all of a sudden, oh, he ain't shit, he ain't ever did nothing for me, da-da-da-da. That shit is real crazy out of you, Pastor Lucille. I think you could even agree on it. What's crazier to me about all this is that I never hear Meech get none of this shit that Lucille is giving to Nicole, Terry, Charles. Plot armor on that man Meech is insane work. Like, yeah, she told him off after Nicole got arrested for the car that he gave her or whatever. But she do not be going in on Meech the same way she going on her other kids. That shit really crazy. Anyway, nonetheless, Pastor, I do hope your situation ends up turning around at the end of this season. And I also hope you fix your attitude low-key, because Charles would not be deserving the wreck you be giving him. And you really gotta look in the mirror to see that Nicole is actually your daughter. Not some whore, not some thought that's outside doing whatever with anybody. She made a mistake. It is what it is. Y'all figure it out. God is good. Wouldn't you say that? That's all I got for y'all on this little Lucille rant, though. Are there any other characters you want me to go in on in any series that I'm watching, any series that you watching? Leave them in the comments. I might consider doing that. But that's all I got for y'all for right now. Being Host Chase, so I hope you've been entertained, and we gonna talk soon. Peace, y'all.